Welcome back. Our phones can do nearly everything we want them to, but that wasn't always the case. It's been 50 years since the first cell phone call, and News 9's Austin Schindler takes us back through the years. He joins us live now in Wausau with what the next 50 may hold. Austin?
Yeah, Brad, you can just imagine this. Imagine you're in the streets of Manhattan. It's 1973. But you're not grabbing one of these. You're grabbing one of those giant brick phones to make some of the first wireless calls ever made. Now, we all know technology has certainly come a long way since then, but it's only going to keep going further. On this day in 1973, the first cell phone call was made out of Manhattan.
It was very primitive at the time, and there was obviously probably only a few towers.
And it came with a massive price tag. $4,000 to make that cell phone call, or about $27,000 today. Gary Wickersham first got into the cell phone business in the 90s, not long after he got his first phone.
The reason why I started was because I bought a cell phone, and about 6 months later I thought this was like the coolest thing ever.
And from there, it quickly grew into an inseparable piece of technology the modern world relies on.
I think one of the coolest things was when we first had cell phones that had a color screen on it. It was amazing.
Now, we have access to internet, high-definition pictures and videos, and games we can play to pass the time, because manufacturers could see the future possibilities.
The inventors of the cell phone didn't just stop with telecommunications. It evolved to the point where it's actually something that we would see when we were younger on TV.
82% of all Americans now own a smartphone. But even with all the good that they can bring, we have to remember what's surrounding us in real time.
They keep us away from the person that you're right next to. And I think that's important to remember is if you go to a restaurant or something like that, you'll sit there and you'll look at every single table, and as people are waiting for their food, they're all sitting there playing on their phones and they're not talking.
So now what's next for the following 50 years for cell phones? Well, Wickersham tells me you can expect them to only get more powerful with better cameras. And one we're all waiting for, longer battery life. Live in Wausau, Austin Schindler, News 9, WAOW.